I wanted to make this video for really long. One of the aspirants came to me once and told me how to sketch a scenario. This guy was preparing for film and video communication. So one technique which I told him was thumbnail sketching. Just go with the thumbnail sketching because this will give you some perspective, some insight into what you are going to draw in the future in that broad, big drawing sheet. So before drawing something, go for the thumbnail sketches. It doesn't take more than 20 seconds or 30 seconds to draw thumbnail sketches, and also it gives you confidence. It's more like you're copying, but from your own sketch. You're not shooting in the sky. And one very important thing which we discussed. So when he asked me to, how to go with the scenario, he asked me where to put shadow, where to put the big cart if we are making a roadside tapri or a food stall. So there were many technical factors, but there was one missing point which he didn't speak. And I want to mention it. Last year he got selected in NID, and it was, for me, I felt really good. My insight kind of worked out for him. So what we discussed. So when you are drawing a scenario, what are you trying to capture in that scenario? If I ask you to capture a food stall, what are you trying to capture? Is it the way this guy is preparing food, or is it the way you are, making that cart or making that person? Technical side aside, the anatomy of the person, also the cart, and also the whole scenario. But I want to talk about essence, character of that sketch. So when you're making a cart or when you're creating a scenario, keep one tip in mind. Don't forget the essence. If I say a cartoon character cannot exist without its environment, if I put a cartoon character in a white behind a white wall, it won't exist. There is not going to be any story or the context. I want to say, create an environment in where the person is preparing a meal. For example, the wind is flowing. You can show wind. There is some dust also. You can show that dust. That dust and the wind is depicting. Yeah, there is some wind, which is happening in that scene. Also, the tilt of that cap, which this guy is wearing. Also, the sweat coming out of his forehead while preparing a meal. So the person who is looking at the sketch will be able to like dive deeper into it, the intricacy of the sketch. So the examiner who is checking who is going through the sketch, he or she would be like, yeah, she can see sweat, she can see wind is flowing. Also, the fumes are coming out of, if he is putting masala or doing tadka, so the fumes are coming out. And there's one towel on the shoulder too, because he wants to wipe his forehead. And also the examiner would be like, the temperature is hot, right? At the same time, in terms of India, in Indian context, you can add more elements to emphasize on the storyline, what the sketch wants to say. So focus on the storyline, focus what that whole scenario is trying to convey. Create that story in your head and then go with that. Don't make, there are going to be so many people, they will come up with wonderful sketches, the shadow, the technicality, but it all comes down to essence. Essence matters. And when you pour everything in a scenario and create a story, that static sketch becomes so beautiful. So while going for scenario sketching, try to use this approach. Yeah. Other than that, that's it, I guess.